Ooh, welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the DNVR Rapids Podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, a.k.a. Merchel, a.k.a. I'm straight up not having a good time because that was the worst. Rapids fall 4-1 in Portland in their season debut. Thanks, Tiff.
Really bringing that animatronic.
That one actually is
Man, what a bummer way to start the season. It's the Losers Lounge, and I am joined, as always, by the fellas, Cowboy Super Yaya.
Not very super today. Not very bonita. Not very bonita.
Not bonita.
At all. I blame myself for this. I wore the kit. That's the issue.
That's nice.
Oh, you matched. I tried and not match.
Yeah, I matched.
Yeah.
It didn't work. And I was like,
bummer.
Ooh. Tried it last year.
Wow, Yaya's fault. Okay, well, short post game. We know what happened. Also joining us, of course, downtown Duane Brown.
I tried to go lifestyle casual, knowing that you guys were going to wear the shirts. It didn't help.
Didn't help at all.
I'm not going to put that on myself, though.
Didn't help at all.
I'm really sorry, Mohai Hotspur, for this being the first game you watch.
Where do we start with this, guys? 4-1. It's over when it starts, right? I mean, you get Williamson scores in the 9th minute, Antony in the 14th, Antony in the 29th, Vine's own goal in stoppage time of the first half. It was over before the Vine's goal. But, man, that really that was the gut punch there, Yaya.
Yeah, man. Like, I think it all happened in the 8th minute when that first goal came in.
Yeah.
And you just saw the defense be completely out of position. You saw nobody hustling for that ball at the end. It just kind of felt like, all right, this team defensively just doesn't have it. They're trying, but it just doesn't feel like it's going to be their night.
It wasn't just the back line, although the back line was leaky. It was the midfield. I mean, they looked allergic to tackling again. Like last year, they finished last season dead last in total tackles in the MLS. And tonight, Portland was allowed to do whatever they wanted on the counter, Duane. They could do whatever they wanted, and they just got run through over and over and over again. How are you feeling on the early returns of that first half?
Crappy. I'm feeling super crappy.
Duane is not stoked right now.
I'm not stoked. I feel like Bombi and Keegan got just run over. Aside from the tackling issues.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think it was the third goal that broke my heart. That one was the most painful for me, and that's where it felt like this. We have no chance in this game.
You know, when the lineup came out, no real surprises except for Denver East High legend Ollie Larraz gets the start. Had a great year last year with Next Pro, or with Rapids 2 and Next Pro. Surprised that Jasper didn't get the start. I think all of us were kind of penciling him in until Diak got his got in shape and got involved with the club. Yeah. And how do you feel about? I mean, there was a lot of homegrowns in the starting lineup, right? It was Vines, it was Ollie, it was Cole. Not what we thought we were going to see in that first half.
No, not at all. And the thing is, like, that's a cool moment when you don't get destroyed on the pitch, right? It's a cool moment to look back at and be like, hey, man, we had a bunch of homegrowns trying to give these kids from Colorado a shot. Then you look back and it's, oh, yeah, but they lost 4-1. Why would you give them a shot? And granted, it's not just their fault. This team played like absolute shit from start to finish. It started off bad, right? And the thing is, the advanced stats, if you saw them, they would have you thinking the Rapids destroyed when Portland. It's just incredible. Like the field tilt at 62.8, XG points. The Rapids should have gone out of here with 3 points. They have 2 points, and they get out of with none. The goals were incredible. XG is 1.43 compared to Portland's 0.59. The biggest difference tonight from start to finish was Portland was clinical. They finished their chances. They got to the end, and they did what they had to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing else. And I want to talk about Ollie. I want to give him his praise because I thought Ollie was great.
That might be flowers time.
Yeah, and but even then, like, are we giving flowers today? There's nobody that really deserves them except you're trying to look at the positive side, and it's hard.
I don't know if I want to look at the positive side. Can I be honest with you? Can I be honest with both of you right now?
Go ahead.
Be honest. This is the time for being honest.
What are we doing? What are we doing? And I mean, we said it. We qualified our hype with all this is great. We're going to be hyped right now. We love these moves. We're happy with the vibes with the club. We're happy with how they're reaching out into the community and how they're making appearances and they're getting out there, and the signings are nice, and we like seeing guys like Georgie and Zach come in, and we're super stoked, and this is all fun, but it won't matter if they don't win. And we said that a lot.
Yeah.
And, I picked them to draw. I think, I didn't think they were going to come out with 3 points, but coming out and just getting embarrassed is about the worst possible way we could have done this.
100%.
They got embarrassed.
Yeah.
Right? And, they made sure to wash away all the good vibes immediately. There's nothing left to ride from that. You used it all up. You used it up in 8 minutes, 14 minutes, I guess. Once it was 2-0, it was over, right? So you used up every bit of good faith we had in 14 minutes. Is that a record?
Honestly, it could be.
Is that the record?
Man, dude, it's so brutal. It just sucks. You're watching this game, and you can just feel the soul leaving your body play after play, and you're like, I was so hopeful. I was so much wishful thinking. And it went away so quickly. And part of me was like, I got really hopeful when I gave my prediction this morning. I changed it up. I went 2-1. And it was mostly because I saw that Evander was out. They didn't, none of their DPs playing.
0 DPs playing for Portland.
And you're like, all right, here we go. The Rapids have at least 2 of them out there. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter at the end of the day.
I'm going to interrupt this train of thought right here because we got a super chat. Right out of the gate. That might be a record for fastest super chat of the season for us. Our guy, Altec, he's a PHNX diehard. He's checking out the MLS. He's from Portland, so he picked, and I can't blame you. If you were a betting person and took a plus 400 money line on a dog on the road, you're more of a sicko than I am. But thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for the super chat. We really appreciate it.
Lives in St. Louis, by the way. If your chat keeps going, so rooting against RSL tonight, and I have nothing but respect for that. Almost got it done, but hey, a draw is still keeping them from a win, so the job is done. Great job, City.
How else can we? At least RSL didn't win, I guess.
There's no
still got more points.
There's no. You're right. No positive. No positive.
We're a game up on them. We're a game up on them.
Real quick.
Anything else? Okay,
just real quick. Also, drop a like real quick.
Please drop a like.
We're here late. We have producer Tiff. Shout out to her.
Please drop a like.
Staying late for us. We really appreciate it if you guys just give us a like.
Do it for Tiff.
Do it for super producer Tiff on the 1s and 2s. Zooming out and not thinking about anything specific in that first half.
Yeah, let's go Tiff.
There's pretty much...
We got Tiff on screen.
Oh, hell yeah. No, I love it with the bucket. Let's go. Look, new coach, new starters,
4,
new captain, go on the road to a tough home environment, even if that team is missing its 3 DPs. Probably shouldn't expect a good result. Right? A good, truly convincing, that. I think we maybe all got a little over our skis a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Which is fine. That's the season of hope, right? That's what the offseason is.
Yes. I said it downstairs. If I'm not going to be happy during the regular season, which probably won't be, I'm going to at least ride every little bit of vibes
you can hear
from the offseason.
Yeah, and that's completely fine. You can get high on this team. That's okay. This team gave you a lot of reasons to be super high on them. It's not like we were just trying to sell ourselves on fool's gold like we did a little bit last year, it was a season. This year, it was legit things to be excited about. And at the end of the day, it was just the same Rapids, just different names on the back of that kit, right?
Yeah. No, you're right.
What do you think, Duane? You're really quiet over there.
It sucks, man. This is the worst. I came in not even Rapids Twitter could get me down today. I came into the bar so pumped to see a win. I think the beginning of this schedule, our first 5-6 games are brutal. And there are 2 games that I gave us a legit chance at getting 3 points out of. And Portland was one of them. Unfortunately, we got obliterated tonight. So I'm not even feeling good about the other one. So it's just, some people had mentioned with Phil Neville coming in, maybe they're not going to run, that kind of defense heavy, like sit in the back and kind of wait for things to happen. Maybe he was going to switch it up tonight. And he did. Like, they had us locked down.
Completely.
It was absolutely, I felt like everything we did was both in transition, we were getting cooked. And then when we do get into the final third, their defense was so stout. Like, I mean, they were just solid. They were in form. The shape held. It's just, I don't know. Like, I know preseason is preseason, but I fell into the trap like everybody else of, oh shit, we're scoring some goals here. Like,
I mean, they scored a lot of goals.
Maybe it's okay.
They didn't score a little goals.
Yeah, we scored a lot of goals, and maybe it's okay if we let in a few goals because we're going to be scoring so many. Except that we didn't. We didn't score. We scored two goals, but one was in the wrong goal.
Poor Vines.
And so it's just, I don't know, man. This was a bad start. Yeah, I mean, this just has Seattle from last year all over it. And if that's the intro and that's the curse of what this season's going to be, it's going to be a long season.
The reason I won't go there is because, for the most part, there wasn't a lot of major changes going into that season. And they were instantly injured.
The other thing,
the health went down the drain instantly last year. That's the best thing you could say about this game.
No, and that's
honestly, that's they're healthy still, I guess.
And that's true. And I'm not gonna completely compare it, but we did have a yappy post moment like we did last year. That Rafa on the first post where he just barely missed, and I was like, and immediately Portland goes down the other end and scores. If Rafa scores, do we have like a completely different game? Like, do the Rapids control this game in the scoreboard and in the pitch like they kind of did on both halves a little bit more? Like, do you get the actual result that should have been? But you don't, and that's the what ifs that we're going to keep dealing with, just like we did last year with Seattle, until we get proven otherwise or we get proven right. There's no in between.
This was one of the most irritating parts of this game for me was when Yahya called. I think it was the second goal.
And the third one.
You know how it was just like immediately saw the breakdown, and Yahya, we're sitting down the bar, and Yahya goes, well, here we go. This is going to score. And it did immediately. And I'm like, shit, things are so bad that it's telegraphed that we can call what's happening.
All right, this is going to be a funny moment because, so it's true. I did call goal 2 and 3, but it's not because I knew what was going on. My phone was ahead and I was getting notifications of the game. And I was like, here comes the
You were pulling a Vinesy.
Yeah, I was just like, here comes the goal.
Well, never mind. Then that doesn't count.
I thought it was so funny that I forgot to tell you.
That's plus for Rapids then and minus for Yahya.
Second half, they come out. They probably spend the first 10 minutes.
God, I thought you were good at like knowing soccer because of that.
Dude, no, it was.
It made me. You depressed me because
Yahya does know ball, but let's get through this game.
Do we have
Please.
to?
I mean, I would like to because I want to be done with this post-game show. Second half, they probably spend the first, 10 minutes on the attack. Yep. Pepper in the box, some okay looks here and there. Nothing really is going their way for about 12 minutes. It was exactly 10 minutes. Calvin finally gets his head on a goal. Can't believe they didn't just call that live. What is that linesman doing down there? How do you not see that ball go through? Has to go to VAR. Goes through. Duane's, our guy's draft pick, Calvin Harris, round 1, pick 2. Redemption for Duane.
My guy.
Duane got heat in the chat.
Let me tell you, I am all on, and I have been since last year. Calvin Harris is the guy. I'm telling you.
He's pretty good. I mean, he's the
only one that scored today.
He's the only one that scored, so I'll give you that. And then after that, Cole misses a wide open header within 10 minutes of that. Would have cut the lead to 4-2. Then they sub off, Vines, who had the own goal and was, coming off a sickness. Ollie and Calvin. You bring on Jackson Travis for his MLS debut. Omir Fernandez for his Rapids debut. Johnny Lewis for his contract year debut. And, I think Jackson held his own. I mean, clearly these outside backs are going to be caught on an island sometimes when that counter press and press is failing like it did. And he held up just better than Keegan did because he wasn't getting burned, right?
Correct.
He had some decent spells in possession. I liked what I saw from him in the little bit of training I got to see before the season. It was interesting that they didn't go to Seb, that they went to Jackson. How'd you feel about his debut?
Which one of
Jackson Travis?
I actually liked it quite a bit. I thought he came in and kind of stabilized the back line a little bit. And it's not because I think Sam was bad. I just think he came in with a different mindset of, I'm going to stay back a little bit more, make sure that we're all taken care of. And then once he knew somebody was covering him, he'd push forward a little bit. And I thought, for being such a young kid, I thought he played pretty well in his debut. I'm really glad that he's getting that opportunity. And clearly they're seeing him as the heir to the Sammy throne. Maybe not right now, but eventually. Remember, he's only like 17, 18.
He's a kid.
Yeah,
he's a kid.
Sammy's 24. I'm thinking they're expecting Sammy to make one big move, maybe to Europe again, because they expect big things from him. But at the end of the day, I think Travis did great, and I'm really happy that he got that debut today.
Great debut for him. Omir, fine. Incomplete, I guess, even though he had almost 30, had 30 minutes to play, but just didn't see enough from him. Johnny Lewis, I thought he was fine too. I don't know. Not bad, not good, nothing there. Hironen misses sends one wide. Yappy comes on for Rafa. I got really mad there on Twitter. I'm like, well, there's another game gone. Still 1 goal, 1 assist since the start of that loan. To their credit, or to his credit, I should say, to Rafa's credit, he was getting into some pretty threatening positions. He probably should have had at least 1, if not 2 in this one. I think offensively, you probably have to give it to Calvin because he finished and Rafa didn't. But I think Rafa probably had the best run of play of really any of the outfield guys. Positioning, physicality,
creating opportunity,
running back
defensively,
running back
everything.
Defensively.
Still not good enough, but
not good enough not to justify $4.5 million.
Not even close. Not even $1 million at this point.
But I think that makes me more concerned with, how am I not saying that Georgie or Cole were the best outfield players?
It does a little bit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why am I not saying that Keegan Rosenberry, right? Captain, Maxu, the vets, Connor Ronan, who was time and time out the most reliable player on the field last year for the Rapids. And it's just, if your striker who relies on getting that ball to him in what is not yet shown to be an offense that can do that, if he's playing the best, you're gonna lose 4-1 a lot. You're gonna lose 4-1 a lot. Like a lot. Tell me, Nashville, RSL, Seattle and LAFC, right?
Yep.
That's who you have in the next 4 games.
How confident do you feel that we come away with a point?
In the next 4? I would take the over on a point.
You taking over?
I think it's an easy over, in my opinion.
Easy over.
I think so. Again, I am feeling very down today, and it's not what I expected. I expected him to be better. I didn't expect the scoreline to be so tilted.
Yeah.
I did have a little bit of precaution. I said give it 5 games.
5 games?
I think
get through the hardest 5 game stretch on your schedule for sure.
And again, I do believe there's still meshing to be done. I think over a point, it's as bad as I feel right now. I think it's still feasible, and I get that we're all feeling down because it's 4-1. But I'm kind of used to this feeling after last year at the opening day. You remember they turned it around and they got a point against SKC immediately that next week, and then they got another one from Austin.
Yep.
And they played way worse against Seattle because they had no offensive prowess or nothing at all going for them. This game, I feel like they played decent. They were just not good enough at the final end, defensively or offensively.
That's a big problem.
It's huge, but
they were big gigantic problem.
But they were way worse last year.
It's okay if your offense sucks, but if your defense keeps you in it, or if your defense is really good, but you know,
it has to be one
your
or
defense,
the other one.
yeah, but to have both of the most important parts not good, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence
And
going forward through these first 5-6 games.
I think they can muster out 2 draws in the next 4 games. That's why I'm saying over. I do have faith in that. 2 draws is not as difficult, especially when you play at home. When you're the kings of 0-0.
I'm not worried about. I mean, look, Nashville is probably better, but I think coming off of that loss, I mean, I don't think it's crazy to think a point at home against Nashville. It's that RSL game for me. Look, like, you have to find a way to be competitive by that. Like, to me, like, whatever. If you lose against Nashville, fine. RSL, though, man, like, that is soon. That is soon. And do you remember the last RSL game? Ron Fraser got fired. They got embarrassed.
Well, the second to last one.
Oh, you're right.
The very last one was 1-0.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Second to last one. Whatever. The one that's going to be burned into my memory for the rest of my life is Robin Fraser getting fired, the dumpster fire tifo. All of it was just off. Like, there's been bad Rocky Mountain Cup seasons. Last year was as bad as it has ever been. They lost 4 times to RSL last year. Twice at home in a week in 2 different competitions last year. So this game is coming up. You have to find a way to make sure that Chicho doesn't score 4 on you. That Diego Luna doesn't carve you up. Right? Like, it's right there. It is coming up soon. And people will forgive Nashville. People will forgive Portland. They will not forgive RSL. They will not forgive RSL, man.
I'm telling you, RSL is a much better team than Portland.
Way better.
It's not even close.
It's not. It's not even close.
How much do you feel that it is a new team, though, that it's a little bit of like, all right, we got the jitters out. I mean, that, around
100%.
Because it feels like last year's team was dead from the year before still. Like, it still felt like they never got resuscitated in the offseason.
There's some of that, but here's the thing that would really tick me off is that, I mean, you guys know, like, I love Chris Armas. You know, like, his coaching resume, pretty bad. But as a dude, I like him. Yeah. The one thing that worries me is if, you know, you watch the series on Apple, you watch kind of his candor with the team of the preseason. When things didn't go well, he's like, all right, well, everybody tried hard. We'll get back to it. You know, I appreciate everybody going for it. I sure as hell hope that's not the speech that happens after the game today.
I'll be really curious. I'll be really curious to go back and watch what they say in the presser tonight and who's talking. And it's going to say a lot. It's going to say a lot because
there needs to be fire. Like, it can't be like, oh, it's jitters. Like, it has to be more than that.
I just had this realization.
Yeah, we noticed. We noticed. Don't worry.
I read your nonverbals on that. What you got?
You guys saw the Chris Armas letter to season ticket members.
Yep.
Do you know what 2 cursed words were in that letter?
Rapids Way.
He fucking said Rapids Way in that letter. I almost had an aneurysm right there on the spot reading that stupid letter today. The second Rapids Way was in there, we all should have known it was going to be an absolute disaster. The second that came up.
They're cursed words.
They are... It's like saying Voldemort or something, dude. What the hell?
The way that must not be named.
The way that must not be named. It's horrible. Horrible. Why? Why would you put that out there on today of all days? You couldn't even let us have hype for like 10 minutes. We didn't even get 10 minutes of excitement.
In his defense, I don't think he knows the negativity with the Raptors.
Somebody should have told him, though.
Someone should have told him, but I will give him, you know, that he probably doesn't know.
Man, like, I'm just sitting here kind of speechless.
It's like saying Macbeth in a theater, Cody.
I saw that and I was like, well, we're screwed. We're screwed.
I want to be upset. I really, really do. Like,
you were upset.
I am upset. Like, But I'm kind of already over this loss, if I'm honest with you.
Sure.
It's the first game of a 34-game season. If we dwell on this, we're just going to be as miserable as last year.
Look, I think I'm not upset about the game. I think I'm upset that, like...
You believed.
That I even
Mitch was miserable during that game.
That I even thought for a second that we were going to have some... I said we might not be good, but we'll be fun. And I feel like an idiot. That wasn't fun at all. It was embarrassing. They got dog walked. They left Keegan on an island one-on-one against guys way faster than him. They're turning it over. The midfield again refuses to tackle anybody. It's not fun. It's horrible. I just wanted to have fun watching soccer for a game.
Were you guys expecting Jasper to come in today?
I was expecting Jasper to start and play 90.
When you're getting your junk kicked in, like Jasper's the guy I want to come in and have that dog and just kind of like start, you're talking about tackles. Like that's the guy I need to turn the tide. And I was surprised that we didn't see him today because that's the guy with the grittiness and the edge and the kind of dirtiness that I think we needed early on in the game to kind of like shift the momentum.
We're going to get into flowers from the fellas right after this short break. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Welcome back to DNVR Rapids.
We made it back.
What a break it was.
Well
Mitch,
needed.
Yahya, Duane, super producer
refreshed. I'm refreshed.
We're all over the place right now
great.
because this game was all over the place.
Feeling great. I have a cough that I can't get rid of. Flowers from the fellas. This is a tough one, man. Yikes. Does anyone have a flower they want to give out? I know who you're going to give it to. Go ahead.
To my guy.
Your guy.
Calvin Harris.
His guy.
His guy. Who I drafted in the first round, and everyone was like, Duane, what are you doing drafting Calvin Harris in the first round?
Don't take a victory lap after one goal.
A goal.
Okay. A little early for a victory lap.
I want everyone to think about last season. That's better than 3/4 of last season already. Let's go. Calvin Harris. God bless you. Rapid Man bless you.
God bless America.
God bless America.
May you walk in the light of Rapid
bless
Man.
you all.
All right. Calm down.
God bless us all.
Calm down. It's February. Our guys' results will be in October.
I will take what I can get.
In October.
After last year's draft, I will take what I can
get. You know how high
get.
I was flying with Max until April? What I'm just saying. Curb the enthusiasm there.
Rapid Man bless him.
I didn't win it till last month last year.
Straight up. Yeah, you got flowers to give out today, my guy?
I'm going to give flowers to Bach State Footy and all the fans.
Yes!
Congrats. Dude, you guys 100%. Are true OG. Like, you guys know that it's hard being a fan a lot of the times, and you guys still put in the effort. You guys invest money into a club. And if nobody tells you they appreciate you, just know that we appreciate you representing Rapids fans, and we're really, really proud of you guys being out there. So thanks a lot.
How about our guy Julio?
And a lot of them were out there last year for Seattle, too.
Yeah, so like 2
years in a row. Like before box footy even existed. But there's other folks out there. Eric is out there and Dev is out there with Wanners and Jared and everybody.
Yeah. You see Julio wearing our Up the Pit scarf, baby?
Dope, dude. Like,
again,
DNVRlocker.com.
Everybody out there, man.
Up the Pits.
Just great
high
job.
fives for you going into enemy territory and like sitting through that and still repping Burgundy.
I was really afraid Duane was going to take mine and I was going to be like, shit, I have nothing to say now.
No, that's the biggest flower for sure.
I don't have any flowers to give out. No one deserves flowers.
That's fine. I'm cool with that. I just wanted to give it to our guys out there.
The fans deserve flowers. That's for sure. Tiff deserves flowers for staying late and
Tiff
doing the show with us.
Flowers.
With the great sound effects. We appreciate Tiff for this.
Oh, boy. Okay. Flowers for the fellas is over. That was brought to you by insert ad here.
Congrats to our new sponsors.
Brought to you by Flowers.
Could be you if you play your cards
flowers.
right.
1-800 flowers.
Are you sad? Get yourself some flowers.
DMs are open. Okay, the big debut that I think now that we've kind of embraced and talked about the game and the performances and all that, the big debut is obviously Chris Armas. Yeah, you are our X's and O's guy. You're the one that's going to tell us what you saw from Chris Armas' system, who you saw it working for, who you didn't. Like, let's dig into this and actually look at the debut of the team under Armas and what we saw.
So first thing first, I do want to give credit. He said that we're going to get an exciting brand of football. Mm-hmm. We did, just not for the Rapids.
Right. It was for
so congratulations.
Timbers did play exciting footy.
Look, the truth is, I think they control a lot of the pace of the game.
Yep.
The issue is that there's glaring holes that they knew from the offseason, especially when you play a system like this, that it just doesn't help. Bombi looked like a deer without in headlights out there at times. He didn't know where to go because what's the directive of Armas? Go forward, go forward, go forward. And that's what Bombi was doing, forgetting that sometimes there's coverage behind him. Now with Maxu, I love Maxu. I think he's a good defender. At times, he looked panicked with the ball because he thought he had to go forward when, there's another pass behind you, and he would lose it, create chances for Portland, and that's when people would get mixed up in that back third. People I think it really worked for, as much shit I gave him during the game and doing was there, I think it worked good for Ronan. Ronan found defensively, he's still in the worst spots possible. Offensively, when he gets the ball, he still knows where to get the ball to everybody out on the pitch. It didn't work for Keegan either because at the same time, when you play a system like this, you need a defensive six, and you didn't have it out there. You had a guy like Ollie and Ronan who wanted to push up, wanted to keep going forward because that's what they're told to do. You need a Jock, you need a Jasper back there that's going to handle the grittiness so you don't get caught on your back foot in those counterattacks, which happened three times. Yeah. And they didn't score on all of them, but it was a constant counterattack. Keegan needs to play a little bit more back. I think Mihalovic needs to push to the left a little bit more because that's where he's most comfortable. And Calvin needs to push more to the right and take more of that winger spot because having Keegan be the one creating that width for you is not going to work because he is not as fast as Sammy Vines on the left side. So he's going to get beat quite often, and you saw it today against faster competition that he got beat, and that's where most of the chances were created. And then for the rest of the guys, I think they're still getting adjusted. You could see that they were trying to figure out what they're trying to do. There was times where Cole was expecting Ronan to be on the left side and he was on the right side. There were times where Ollie was supposed to make a run behind him and Cole was looking for him in front of him. It takes time to get used to playing with these guys. It does. As far as the system, I'm not super high on it right now because I just don't think this kind of way works anymore. The Red Bull style, it has been kind of figured out that it's high energy press. And if your press triggers are not there, it's not going to work because they're pressing randomly. And when you press, you need to press as a unit. You need to all run together, cut off the passing lanes. And they're not doing that right now. They're just one guy is pressing and then everybody else is kind of lollygagging around. And they find the next pass. And that's how you break a defense quickly.
Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, the biggest thing that stood out to me is that the second the shape got disorganized, right, where guys were filling in roles and slots on the field that were maybe not where they should be. Mm-hmm. They were not quick to find where they should be, and that is where the movement together really lost. Like you saw Georgie all the way on the right, and then he was all the way on the left, and then he was like almost like a deep lying 8. Like he was just all over the place. And then does Calvin then know to slide into that kind of 10 spot there? Probably not, right? Does Ollie know to move up into that role? And then those passes are in the wrong zones and into the wrong lanes. And you saw it the second that happened. When they maintained shape and maintained position, it actually wasn't that bad. But the second they were now in a secondary position, moved because of a set piece or, marking a guy on a long run or whatever it was that pulled them out of position, it was over. It was death.
Yeah.
The second that happened, the second they weren't where they should, like Portland, to their credit, it didn't matter who got the ball because they were running. Right, and they knew exactly where to be in those lanes. It didn't matter if it was whose primary responsibility those zones were, but just a brutal execution the second the Rapids broke formation.
And part of that problem comes down to Armas talks about letting the players play. Mm-hmm. Now, there's two schools of thoughts when it comes to coaching. Are you going to let them play, or are you going to micromanage them a little bit more? Micromanaging has seemed to work a lot for the top. for the top managers in the world, the Peps, the Jose Mourinhos, the kind of letting them do what they need to do and kind of figure it out themselves leads to this kind of ball. You need a little bit more structure.
Yeah.
You can still play free under structure. Like, it's just everybody kind of being on the same page is what helps that structure at the end of the day. One thing that really bothers me with this is that you guys are talking about Jasper, and that's the guy that we needed in there the most.
The whole time.
The reason is because Keegan was getting burnt because he was pushing so high up. That's when Bombi had to push out to the right, and they needed Ollie or Ronan to drop into that center back, be that kind of next line of defense, and you have a 3-line back, a 2-line back, depending how you were trying to line up back there, and that's how you help out, and that's how you don't create these stupid chances where you're getting people burned on the wings. Now, this is all hindsight, right? We're looking at it. Hopefully, we see a change next week. We see something a little bit more concrete and like to what they want to do and where they're going to fill those gaps. But it's the exact same problem they had last year with against Seattle. They were not covering for each other. They weren't filling those gaps, and Mitch laid it out correctly. They all felt lost at times when
completely lost. One
guy moved up, the next guy didn't know when to push back or when to fill a hole, and that's where Portland was seeing it like it was 3D vision and they were playing 2D. Like, you could see everything.
That's why I'm really shocked that we saw Omir play, who didn't play a ton in preseason.
Which is weird.
He was held out a lot, like precautionarily. I think there was
an injury. I mean, we don't know exactly what.
But then you have a guy like Jasper who started a bunch, played a ton of minutes, was involved. They were like everywhere you looked in training, he had the ball, just like he was all over that. And then he doesn't even get a minute.
Yeah, I needed to see
He doesn't even get a minute, right? And like, great for Ollie. I'm not trying to look. I want Ollie Larraz to be a great success story, especially after the broken leg, coming back, dominating next pro. It's great to see him in there, 100%. But we brought in a center back like that, or a defensive midfielder, to be able to drop back and hunt and dig in there and tackle. And there was none of it. There was none of it. None of it tonight at all.
Yeah.
Completely disappointing.
On the other side of the pitch, one thing that kind of bugged me was, and apologies for not remembering which article this is. I don't know if it was Burgundy Wave or somewhere else. So apologies up front for that. But the phrase I remember was that with Chris Armas working with this offensive structure, the words that were used were, and maybe it was on Apple, I can't remember where it was, but it was, there won't be any dilly-dallying with the ball. When we get into the offensive zone, it will be react and put the ball on the net. And what we saw today was a whole lot of dilly-dallying. Yep. Even from, my guy, Harris, coming down in the first half. He eventually got the ball over to Rafa, but Rafa was wide open before that, and there was a lot of indecision with the ball in the final third, and I couldn't stop thinking about the words dilly-dally. We won't be dilly-dallying with the ball. We're going to be taking action. We're going to react when the ball hits our foot, and we're going to put it in. And what we saw tonight was the opposite of that, and it felt so much at times like Frazier ball. Like, I didn't see a lot of the inverted winger happening. I didn't see the ball pushing towards the middle like we've been talking about, or the club has been talking about, Armas has been talking about. I saw a lot of what we saw last year, which is to say, run it down the wing, kind of mess with it a little bit until you hit the goal line, you run out of space, and then try to put it back in. That's not going to create goals from Rafa. That's not why he's there. And it's not going to create goals, as we saw tonight. But there was just a lot of indecision on the ball in the final third.
Yep.
And the conversation over and over and over and over again in the offseason was, there will not be any dilly-dallying. There will be react, put the ball in, and we didn't see it tonight.
Nope, didn't see it at all, actually.
Goals were there.
We're gonna talk possible lineup changes. We're gonna talk strategy changes. Whatever we think we can do to fix this immediately with the home opener next weekend. We'll do that right after this short break. And we're back. Welcome back to DNVR Rapids. Mitch,
I really needed
Duane,
that break.
Tiff.
Thank you.
Duane's trying to sleep off his rum and cokes from downstairs, so that break was perfect for that.
I really needed it.
Right.
This game drove me.
I'm here for you, bud.
To some beverages.
All right. You look at this 11 that started today. You build an 11 to start home against Nashville. How many changes are you making, and who is it? Yahya, I'm going to start with you.
I'm making 2 major changes. I'm bringing in Jasper and Ferrali, and I think I'm taking out Calvin for Omir, and not because I think that's what it should be. I just want to put Mihalovic back on the left side and keep him there, and I just think that left side is so competitive with Calvin and everybody that I think it's better if you just leave Mihalovic out there instead leave him on the right. If Calvin can play the right, leave him on the right, I'm fine with that. But to me, it's just I just need Mihalovic on the left. That's where he's most comfortable. That's where all his chances come from, and that's where most of his goals come from.
Yep.
So I just need Mihalovic on that left side. Whether you keep Omir or Calvin on the other side, either of them can play that side. I don't care. I just need Mihalovic on that left.
Would you want to give Cabral a shot?
No.
Why not?
Get Cabral out of here. No. I need high pressing, dude. They had one of the worst counter pressing of the day today of MLS. And Cabral does not counter press. You need guys that are going to go out there. And that's Calvin, Omir, and Mihalovic and Cole.
I'm just thinking of getting some speed and physicality to at least scare anybody.
That'd be great if Cabral had physicality.
That's true, but he's fast.
He has the speed. If you could pair it with
some of those
physicality.
balls, I don't know. Like you saw the XG looks okay, right? Rapids probably should have scored more than one based on their chances tonight. And you liked the balls that Georgie was getting into the middle. You liked Rafa's ability in there to recover those loose balls, right? Or an overshot cross or a big header that lands still pretty close to the goal. Maintain possession, find another attack. How do we emphasize that? How do we make more of that, right? And I think you're right. Drop Jasper back, so you're basically playing a back 3 with the wingers pushing, and he can meet that press full speed on and create that turn of the tide that was missing tonight, because that was the 3 goals for Portland, right, where they broke the defense coming towards their attack, and it was over.
Yep.
3 times. And Jasper's your best chance to make that happen on Saturday by a mile. Until Diak is ready to come in, you need him out there. Need. Would you think about Lawless over Moise?
I'd consider it, but I don't know if Lawless is going to bring anything different than Moise.
Right.
At least Moise brings the speed,
right.
But I do like that Lawless brings the physicality. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if getting physical with Nashville is going to be the way to be with it, or keep up with their speed and Hani and Shuffleberg on the other side. I don't know what's going to work best for them. I would think getting physical with Hani would work, but last time we tried that, dude just destroyed us again. So.
Right.
So I think I think that's going to be a matchup based kind of decision, and I think it's going to have to go into what they think it's going to be the best way to stop Hani, whether keep him on the ground or they try to keep up with him.
Did you like the Rafa for Yappy? Like, let's talk subs then. Would you rotate? Would that be your same rotation at least?
I think Yappy deserves minutes. I think he's earned them.
Yeah.
And I think Armas is very high on earning minutes. And you saw it with, I said, Ollie, and you saw it with Calvin. You brought Omir in for a reason, and you still gave it to Calvin. I hear that was last year. I think it's about earning minutes, and he's trying to get Yappy in there because he's earned his minutes. So I think you have to keep the same rotation if you're going to be consistent. Because what other striker do you have? J-Lou?
I mean, it'd be either J-Lou, Cabral. I mean, that's pretty much it. Those are your 2 options.
Yeah, and I'd rather have Yappy get the minutes and see if he can get something going.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he looked pretty good. I mean, instantly, the set pieces looked pretty dangerous the second he came in. I don't know. It's interesting. Duane, would you have any big changes to this team next week?
I mean, part of it depends. And again, it's just with the club, with Giac. Depending on how he is doing with elevation, because it is a home game. We obviously don't know what he is because we haven't seen him yet. but if he's the guy, then maybe that's the guy. This is an unpopular take. I'm done with he's earned minutes. I want the best player on the pitch at the position. I don't care if you've earned minutes by doing a good job in training. Don't care. I want wins, and that's it. We've been in a world of only 5 wins last year. This is not a make everybody happy. It's not a participation trophy year. This is a merit-based squad, or it should be. So best player at each position goes in.
Sure.
Doesn't matter to me. Minutes earned is not a thing for me. Maybe you sub in later, or you play in Champions League, or whatever.
U.S. Open Cup or
Open Cup if we play in that. But you earn those minutes. These are important points that we need. I'm not in for that.
Spicy take from Duane.
Spicy
Play the best
take
players.
for me.
Wow. Let's get you in the box down there and see what happens.
This is why I'm not a. This is also why I'm not a MLS head coach or GM because I'm not smart enough to be that. This is just my take, and my take is pretty stupid. So I just want to go on record as pretty dumb.
No, I thought it was great. It was just like the pieces of it is play your best, but crazy, right?
Well, I know, but I don't think our best players were played tonight.
I don't think so
Otherwise,
either.
Jasper would be in.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
totally.
I just earned minutes to me. I'm not out here for orange slices and participation trophies.
I would say like Calvin Harris was our best, one of the better players. Like he earned the minutes. I mean, you look at Yappy came in and played pretty well here.
But in preseason, like those weren't like earned minutes for him. He was one of the best players and best goal scorers and best on the ball and getting that ball to the net. It wasn't a matter of him earning minutes. Like he's truly one of the best players on the squad, and he proved it tonight by getting a goal. So that wasn't an earned minute to me. Like he should have been out there, and he was.
I'll say this. I wouldn't change the attack. Sorry. You obviously need Georgie to get his every minute possible until he figures out all those lanes and passing lanes and stuff. Yeah. Harris scored and Rafa was outworking everybody. Not on the other team, but on his own team. So, I mean, they're going to roll with that for the time being. Vinesy, feel terrible for Vinesy, but, overall I think he was fine. I think he needs to be a little more aggressive, right? Needs to get his feet in there. Yeah. Needs to get down into those shot blocking lanes. No, everyone was scared to do that tonight. Everyone just felt too scared, tepid, just nervous about making the mistake, and then by doing so, you made a mistake.
I don't want to see Rafa on the back line anymore either.
Well, if no one else is going to tackle, he's going to.
But that's what I'm saying. He played out of his mind covering other people's positions, and I don't want him to have to be.
Help your striker.
I just want him to be a striker,
so he doesn't have to.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Predict what the vibes will be like in here Wednesday morning when we do our weekly show. Are you going to feel way better, way worse, about the same?
I think I'm about the same right now. Just I'm a little bit more even keeled, I think.
Sure.
I kind of I was hopeful, wishful thinking. I was like 2-1. I think they do good, or a draw. Like I think that's acceptable. But part of me kind of knew this. Like team still needs a lot of time to gel, new tactics, new everything, new style of play, new players, blah, 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 whatever. I think I'm going to be about the same, negative, but not everything's gloom. But I'm also going to try to be like, how can this team improve?
I came in here like as happy as I've ever been today. I was so ready for the return of Rapid Soccer. No one was more positive than me coming in here today. So I think Wednesday will be a lot more even keeled, but on the other end, toning it down a bit. I've been hurt a little bit tonight.
It was the best of Duane. It was the worst of Duane.
Yeah. Man, I love this club so much. And I hate it when we lose. I hate it. I truly hate losing. All I want is Burgundy winning every game. So it's hard, man. It's hard.
I think I'm going to be much more excited about the home opener. Even if it's selfishly, I just want to go sit in the press box with our Rapids press friends and watch the team play a game.
You can't even say win.
Play a game. That's exciting to me. I'm excited for that. Jesus, cough won't go away. I'm excited to hit the C38 tailgate. I'm excited to see who's there, who's not there. Probably a lot of people after that game. But look, I'm not gonna make any season-long declarations in February. I'm not saying that this team is over or they can't figure it out. They can't find those connections that we're missing. But it's not looking great. It's not looking great. And look at that! Super chat. Our guy Kev.
Our guy Kevin.
We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. That's right. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
If it's not, at least we will.
Look, we're bummed because
We were excited.
last year was terrible. The worst. The pit of despairs. It was hell. And we at least thought we were going to be excited about this team or at least have some fun, and we weren't. But that being said, look, I think they're going to have a much better showing against Nashville. I probably will still pick a draw because I'm a coward. But I think it's going to be much better than we saw tonight. Famous last words? Clip it. Save it. I don't care. I'm not scared.
It's not my show.
I'm not scared. I'm calling a draw.
I'm just gonna say draw every prediction for the rest of the year.
Change my mind.
Any final thoughts?
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plug us out of here.
DNV_Rapids on Twitter. We really appreciate it if you follow us there. Keep up with the latest news on Rapids and stuff we do. 5-star review wherever you hear the podcast. Let people know about the Rapids. Not the Rapids. Let them know about the Rapids podcast that we have.
Right.
DNVR Rapids. Give this video a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Be nice to each other. Twitter's going to be a scary place tonight and tomorrow. Remember, we're all Rapids fans. And there's a lot of hurt feelings right now. But we got to get it together, and we got to get out to the ballpark. To the Dick.
The Richard.
Next Saturday.
DXD.
Look, become a DNVR diehard. Because you're part of this community, right? Get in here. Hang out with us. Get your discount at the bar. Get your discount in the locker. Get your cheap takeover tickets, trip tickets, all the fun stuff we put on. It's all because of diehards. They get first access to stuff. They get exclusive merch, all sorts of fun stuff. So definitely, if you're looking to support local, DNVR is a great place to start with that. So like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Remember that the sun will rise tomorrow and the next day until the next bad loss. More important than that, though, the most important.
Or get them next time.
Up those pits.
We all silly like the mayor.